Was the best thing that has happened in my life till now because my school life was more of a studious kid sitting on the first bench, and things changed a lot after I went to college.
Welcome back to Engineering Aajkal. Gaana, an online Indian music streaming app that has made its way to heart of almost every Indian. And since the lockdown, the consumption of entertainment sites and streaming apps like Gaana have increased now more than ever. But what happens behind the app? Who takes care of each and every technical detail so you have a good streaming experience? Well, that's done by some highly trained software engineers and product managers. Today, we will introduce you to one such engineer. His name is Vivek Sharma. He is an IIT Mandi pass out. His first job was in Toppr as product associate, and he is currently working at Gaana as associate product manager. What made him embark in this journey? Let's find out. Vivek, my first question would be, why engineering?
It's kind of normal for all Indian students, like their parents say that let's go for engineering because there are always two choices, either engineering or medical. Not many people are going for social sciences or humanities, something like that. So same thing happened for me. Parents told that go for engineering. Okay, in engineering, what should you be doing? Go for IIT. They said I prepared and I landed in IIT. I graduated in 2017, BTech Electrical with minor in management studies.
So you studied in IIT Mandi, right? Can you tell us about the college experience?
It was the best thing that has happened in my life till now because my school life was more of a studious kid sitting on the first bench, and things changed a lot after I went to college. It changed the way I used to look at the life. I changed the way I used to work. From a very underconfident kid, it has given me confidence, it has given me skills, and it has brought a new experience out of me. So it was a great experience. So, and say living in Himalayas, and that too within a valley, that was an altogether different experience. Not many people often get that. So we will again that terms as well.
So are there like any courses that you remember of your college days that is still helpful in the work that you do now?
My first year, I was getting into coding and all those kinds of things. As a product manager, I don't directly do coding, but it helps me when I'm thinking about a solution of a problem or interacting with my engineers. So that is helping me right now. Then there were a couple of analytical courses and business side courses that I did in third year and fourth year. At that time, I didn't know that whether they're going to help me or not. But right now, as a product guy, I have to interact with business as well as have to look at the data, how the metrics have been performing. So all those courses are helping right now.
You studied in IIT Mandi. It is considered one of the best colleges in India. Many aspiring engineers do not get the chance to get admission in such great colleges. So then how do they land job in big places like Gaana or Toppr like you did?
So colleges provide you two things. One is your skill set, very hard skills, and then there is some kinds of soft skills that are there. See, the soft skills, the environment is very correlated to the college that you are studying in, but the hard skills are things that you can learn anywhere. So with the advent of coming of sites like Coursera, Udacity, edX, all those choices are there, and there are multiple resources available online which people can go through and study, and they can enhance their skills through them. I have a few friends of mine who were not able to make it to IIT, but they are still into very good companies like Flipkart, Amazon. They are not from very great colleges, but they worked on their skills. Studying in college is a different thing, and cracking the interview and learning those skills is altogether different set. So if you are just focused on what job you want to land in, and you have 4 years, so you just need to brush up on those skills, and then all these kinds of resources help for that.
So you have interned in bunch of places, like there was IIT Hyderabad, Indian Railway, Delhi Metro, and Innovation Lines. So can you tell us about these experience?
It was also in correlation with the things of like trying out different sorts of things. We got in contact with a professor at our college who was working in collaboration with a professor at IIT Hyderabad, and he was working on some project related to signal processing and all. So as a first year, we didn't have much idea that how these things work, but he needed someone to do a very initial sorts of things. So there are two things by which you can either make a decision, either it is acceptance or rejection. So for me, it was like rejection. So I then rejected that part as well. then it was like going to the core electrical things, electrical power and distribution and all. That's where Indian Railways and Delhi Metro came in, because they are dealing with power systems and all. So for these kinds of companies, there is not a very specific process that we have. It is more of like if you knew someone in those companies, then you can land up there. But when it comes to private companies and all, then there are portals and all where they are keep on hiring for internships. After working for like government companies, now it was time to look out for the startups and into analytical domains. So Innovation Lines was a startup based in Chandigarh. So they are trying to build up models which can help farmers figure out that how the cropping season is going to be. So we used to work on data sets and look at the soil area, the weather, temperature, and all of those kinds of things, and figure out, okay, this is how the yield of this area can be during these kinds of months. In startup, the best thing is like you get to do a lot of work. There are not many people, so you have to get into the things, and you have to learn by your own.
So you have also taken part in many extracurricular activities, like you were part of the placement committee. You were also undergrad teaching assistant. Then you were also in the TEDx event that was organized by IIT Mandi. And you were also a general secretary at your college. What have you learned from each of these activities, and how has it helped you in like going forward in the life that you're leading now?
All these experiences, I've went into these because it was like I have to make a change from my studious life, or that from school life when I used to just study. So I have to go improve my other side as well. So I started getting into these kinds of things to improve my soft skills. And all these roles have played a major role, because if let's talk about the general secretary thing. At that, as a Gymkhana head, you have to interact with all kinds of internal secretaries. Then you have to convince the authorities to implement some kind of policies, and then you have to gain trust of the people to make sure that they are with you and they are voting for you. So all these kinds of things are helping me right now, because as a product guy, you have to interact with business, you have to interact with tech, you have to interact with design, and then there are customers, and then at the end, by interaction of four people, you have to drive a project and then make the release. If I talk about the placement committee or the TEDx one, in that I figured out how you can get into the community and connect with the people, and then get help from them and help them out.
As you mentioned before, you have done a lot of certifications and courses on Coursera. So
Right.
Some of them would be like business analytics, customer analytics, operation analytics, game theory, microeconomics, etc. All these courses are also taught in typical MBA colleges. Why didn't you do MBA, and why did you go for these kind of courses?
So I was not very sure of MBA. So MBA asked for a very big commitment of 2 years, again getting into the college life and grinding yourself. So I was not sure of whether to go for that, and I was still very unsure of whether the analytics is the thing that I want to pursue or not, or even if I get into MBA, which will be the domain that I want to go. So rather I took the other route, and I tried doing these courses to help me understand, okay, what exactly happens in this field. These then helped me landed a job in the analytics role. What I've generally seen, there are two reasons why people do go for MBA. One is they want to switch their jobs from tech domain to the management domain, which for my role is like I'm dealing with both the tech and the management side. And the second thing which people mostly do for MBA is like they are looking for very hefty packages, because promotions in many companies depend on their degrees, and if you have an MBA, you always have an upper hand. Earlier, I was looking for my apps for the students in school. After landing to Gaana, my user base expanded to a lot. I have to make an product for people all over India, all different age groups, different kinds of occupations, who are using Gaana in all different ways.